Hi everybody and big welcome to a cEDh gameplay. Today with us we have Billy from Commander Coffee.
Hello.
Also with us we have Rehtoric from Canada.
Yes, hello.
And Pontus.
Yeah, I'm here, I guess.
So this is my Najeela list, basically. No bad cards Najeela that you might have seen before or heard of before. Going through, it's a pretty standard Grixis pile with all the extra spice in there. Added in there from, white and everything. My personal favorite include is Bring to Light. It can get you anything you want, any combo from Najeela or even just an Adnaz.
Fellas, Pontus and Mons, I was one country away from you in Scandinavia, and I missed the cold of being up in the Arctic. I went up there, so I just wanted to bring the cold here, and that just means making people miserable through stacks. So it's sultai stacks, got a Rehtorical line, just my own personal touch, put a couple things in, have a couple more win conditions like Triska Decaphile, which I've won a couple games with, and a couple other mana sinks with Thrasios and Hullbreaker Horror and things like that. So this is kind of a remix of the two things that are on the cEDh database, and I've linked to that also in the primer.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm tired of the cold.
It's same, and I'm in the States.
So fresh. Yeah.
I'm trying out the new Slimefoot and Squee. It's basically just a John turbo list, which has some infinite outlets with stack outlets and dockside. But you can also use your commander as a reanimate for Rosketh or Hulk. Hulk also has a one trigger win con with that Slimefoot and Squee enables. So it's basically just John go fast with splashes of Hulk and Rosketh.
Me, I'm playing Oskar, Demir, Turbo Necro. The core game plan is very simple. We're gonna use either Necro or some other big discard effect to draw a bunch of cards, discard a bunch of cards, and cast everything that we're discarding. Oskar basically is an outlet for your necropotence once you've put a lot of cards in your hand. We also have cool cards like Dream Halls and one of my favorite lands, Bazaar of Baghdad. With that, let's take a look at the opening hands.
Okay, so this hand really doesn't do enough. It doesn't cast me a Najeela early. It's also the off colors for everything, so I can't really keep this one. Second 7 looks a lot better. I don't have the turn 1 Najeela again, but I do have a turn 1 Monkey or a turn 1 Soul Ring into a turn 2 Najeela. But I would rather the Monkeys to get Derevi back online. I also have my Rainbow land that I could use with Derevi. Also, I have protection with Derevi, and based on the pod, it seems to be a little slower. I think this is going to be a great hand, so I'm going to keep this.
So first 7, we have one land, but that's it. Bazaar of Baghdad doesn't tap for mana. If that would have been a Vamp Tutor instead of a Mystical Tutor, we probably could have kept this. Actually, no, we can't, because we can't actually tap Spire of in this strip or any colored mana, so never mind. Let's absolutely 100% mulligan this hand. Did not get any better. We have one land, one Demir Signet. It's basically the same as last time, so mulligan this one. Worse, we have one land, this time no Seams 2 artifact, so we have to go to 5. We have an Ancient Tomb into a Felwar Stone, and we're keeping that. We also have a Tolarian Wind that we can't... We will probably be able to cast that because of a Felwar Stone. Yeah, so we can't keep this one because we don't have the hand size for that. I think I want to keep Spell Pierce over Swan Song. Yeah, that's the hand we're keeping. I think Cut Down could be good versus Najeela, an early Najeela. So yeah, it's not great, but we should be able to kind of rebuild a little bit with Tolarian Winds, hopefully. Maybe. Or all, actually, I need to just throw in. We really need to top the good from this hand. But those previous hands with just one land were kind of sad. Hope you're doing better than me, Rehtoric. Show us what you got.
Draw 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. So this deck loves it when we have a stacks piece or something like that. So turn 2 may be a little tricky. We also have just 2 forests, so I'm going to go ahead and pitch this, shuffle this into the library. Okay, so here we have Collector Oof, Deathlart Shaman. This would do some work, so we've got a nice little curve here. Yeah, I mean, that would be 2 creatures. I could get out Jorn pretty quickly, try to break it there. If we get this out, there's just a lot of hate we can get through this, and then we can get sort of Psychonic Rift, things of that sort with Spellseeker. I don't know, though. I mean, that's 1, 2, debatable. There's also a ramp we get from Tangle Wire, which would help with us. So you know what? I'm going to go for it. I think there's enough. It's on curve. We got 1, 2, then 3 with Tangle Wire. I think that should help. These other decks are probably a little faster, especially Coffee. So I'm not quite sure how it'll go, but what I'm looking for is a quick sort of stacks package. So let's try it.
Okay, so first 7 is kind of interesting. We're going last and have a dockside turn 1. That is always a interesting choice. I don't think Jorn is gonna develop any rocks or enchantments turn 1, so I don't think we get 3 treasures from Dockside. We would love to wheel turn 1. But even if we don't, I think this is a fine hand. It's like a wheel turn 2 isn't great, but it's fine. We could definitely mulligan this, but we have 2 parts of an A plus B plus C, so we're kind of close. Maybe I should mulligan this, but I will keep this first 7. Go ahead and start the game, Billy.
All right, so I'm going to draw. That's a good draw. I'm going to play this Polluted Delta. I'm going to crack it for a Volcanic Island, Ragavan, and then a Mox Opal. And I'm going to ship the turn.
Strong start. I'm gonna draw a card. Yeah, that's actually kind of nice. So we're gonna put this Ancient Tomb into play. Then I'm gonna tap this and lose 2 life. Cast a Bellower Stone. And then I'm gonna pass the turn.
Draw a card for turn. I will put a Polluted Delta into play. I will crack it, search up my library for a snowy thing. We like snowy things here in this deck. So a snow-covered swamp, if we can find it. Into play, shuffle, tap this for 1, Deathrite Shaman. That's it, pass turn.
Take my turn, shock in a Stomping Ground, taking 2 damage, then I'll pass.
I'm going to play this Forbidden Orchard. I am going to move to combat. We're going to swing 2 at... Yeah, we're gonna go out after Mons.
I'm going to actually cut down on your Ragavan. I want to prevent you from getting treasures, cast Najeela, and stealing my deck. No touchy!
I think I'm going to have to force a will pitching Mystical Tutor.
What?
I need my Ragavan around.
I guess it was the correct thing to cast cut down if you want to force that thing. So yeah, sure.
So the reason I force a willed right there is looking at my hand, I have a Derevi, Demonic Console, and a Soul Ring. I could potentially hit something off of, like a Thassa's Oracle off of Mons' deck, and I could combo out right here. If not, I could still play Soul Ring and play Najeela on this turn and be set up for a win on the next turn. So force will resolves.
So if we're like analyzing here a tiny bit, like he's casting force on this to protect his Ragavan. I'm guessing he doesn't have a third land in his hand, because with Ragavan he will gain Metalcraft and he will get his Najeela into play. If he doesn't have that, it feels like force is making sure he doesn't lose that game plan. So my guess is that he really needs this Ragavan to get going. He doesn't have any form of either like kicking in the wheel ramp, so to say.
Top card of your library, I'm gonna get a treasure.
You get a Ledger Shredder. Would have really
Oh,
liked
that's okay. Now I gotta do some quick math. All right, we're gonna give a Forbidden Orchard token to, well, you already have a blocker right now, so Rhetoric, it's yours. I'm gonna cast a Soul Ring, and we're gonna use one of the colorless mana to cast that Ledger Shredder. 1 colorless, and we're gonna also cast Najeela.
So yeah, if I would have destroyed your Ragavan, I would have prevented a lot of this, basically. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Well, I would. So even if you destroyed my Ragavan, I wouldn't have been able to cast the Ledger Shredder. I would have still been able to cast the Najeela off the Soul Ring, the Forbidden Orchard.
That was a very good Ragavan hit.
And I'm gonna pass the turn.
I'm gonna untap and draw a card. I'm gonna play a City of Brass. So I can actually tap out for Oskar here, or I keep my mana open and be ready with my Spell Pierce and Tolarian Wind. That doesn't really... I also have this value engine card that means if someone draws cards, I draw cards. It doesn't really look like someone is just gonna accidentally draw cards suddenly, like there are no Sylvan Library in play. And if I get Oskar into play, Tolarian Winds becomes amazing here. So we're gonna be a little bit greedy. Like, you really need to be greedy in this game sometimes. And we're gonna put Oskar into play and tap out and just hope that we survive a turn cycle against Najeela. There's a huge risk in doing this, but also not doing this means that you could like fall behind and lose the game anyway. So yeah, we're gonna be greedy. So I have 1 cut down in my graveyard. This means that Oskar will reduce his casting cost by 1. I'm gonna cast him for 4 and lose 3 life, and then I pass turn.
All right, so Coffee has helped me a little bit because I've got Gaia's Cradle, and I think I can like chain together Collector Oof and then potentially my commander, or I could go Tangle Wire, but Collector Oof may take care of the problem, and then I could put it Tangle Wire later. So I think I'm going to do that by putting in Gaia's Cradle next, and then tapping for hopefully Deathrite Shaman and things like that. Hopefully that will slow things down just a touch, because Coffee has a number of artifacts, as does, well, Mon's got 1, but given like Ragavan and treasures, hopefully that sort of helps. So let's see how it goes. I would like to tap Deathrite Shaman, and who has a land in their graveyard? I think Coffee, right? Okay, so I'll go ahead and exile that, making a green. Use that green and the swamp to cast Collector Roof. Pontus, I'll hit you for 1 with this Colorless Spirit.
Sure, no blocks, take 1.
Second main phase, I will play Gaia's Cradle. Tap Gaia's Cradle for Jorn.
Off Ledger Shredder.
You can draw, yeah.
I'm gonna discard this Dread at the Magistrate.
All right, fellas, 5 cards in hand, pass turn.
Go to my turn. Yeah, Dockside into an oof sounds great. Land for turn will be a Phyrexian tower. 1 for a Death Shaman. Sometimes I play dorks as well. Pass.
We're going to immediately move to combat. Ragavan at Pontus, Ledger Shredder at Mons, and Najeela at Pontus as well. Because I just realized that Jorn is a big and can kill Najeela.
I feel so insulted being attacked by my own Ledger Shredder, but I take 2.
Yes.
No blocks, take 6, right?
Oh yeah, I have a warrior trigger.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're gonna send the 1/1 at you as well.
Oh, well, wait, I will block the warrior though. So
That's
take
fine.
5.
All right, and may I see the top card of your library?
It's a Talisman of Indulgence.
Do I want to feed the dockside?
Who has Dockside?
And I'm just saying there could be a dockside. Oh, actually,
There's
no, you're the
always
only
a
one that would
dockside.
have the dockside. There's always a dockside. I'm gonna pass the turn after that.
I'm gonna untap and draw a card. So gamble paid off. We got to our turn. No one won. No one did anything. Sadly though, the mana isn't enough anymore because of Collector Oof. If I would have top decked a land, that would have been amazing, because then I could have cast Tolarian Winds and discard his hand and draw a whole and cast like my entire hand and draw a new hand. So getting Oskar into play was great. Can't do much from this position though. I think we're just gonna put this fairy guy into play sooner or later. For now we're passing turn.
Untap, draw a card. Land for turn would be Snow-Covered Islands. We'll eat the land that I have in my graveyard. Tap 2, and I'll cast Tangle Wire.
Pass and Tangle Wire.
Move to combat. Jorn God of Winter attacking at Coffee. All right, attack trigger, take 3 commander. Yes. Spellseeker, just be safe and get a Pact of Negation. After Spellseeker and getting Pact of Negation, I'm also going to spend the remaining mana. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, so there was 3 of that taken away. I'm going to spend 2 more to cast Talisman of Dominance. And after that, I'd like to pass my turn.
I will untap for my turn, and then I'll tap 3 permanents because I can't tap 4 and draw for turn. So this isn't great, as you can see. And then I'll pass the turn.
And move to combat. Same attacks as before, including the warrior at you, Pontus.
No blocks, take 6.
I suddenly actually think Tangle Wire helps Najeela here because it's removing blockers, which means that warrior count can grow here suddenly. That's not so good. Bad.
What do I get off the top there, Pontus?
Ragavan will be exiling a Rite of Flame.
I'll take 3 damage from the Ledger Shredder.
Okay, so my game plan coming up is trying to get this Derevi on board because there is a win here. Now that I'm only tapping 3 things, I'm going to end up Demonic Consultationing for Swords to Plowshares to get rid of that Collector Roof. And then I can potentially win here. I also may even do that in response to something because I could just get a protection spell to make sure Derevi does resolve. Here's to hoping, and I'm going to pass the turn after that.
In your end step, I'm gonna cast this new card, Bury Mastermind by losing 3 life. Life is going away fast here, and then I'm gonna untap and draw a card. Nice! I'm gonna play oh wait, sorry. I need to tap down like everything except my Seed of Brass. But I'm gonna play this command tower, and then I'm gonna pass.
Untap upkeep, remove a fainting counter, tap 3. Draw card for turn. We will put a Snow-Covered Island into play. All right, moving to combat. Spellseeker, the Spirit, Collector Oof, as well as Jorn, all at Billy.
I thought we were friends.
Untap trigger from Jorn.
Yeah, I have 0 blocks. It should be 3, 5, 6, 7, right?
Yeah, 3 cards in hand, bunch of mana to open, pass turn.
Okay, I will untap and then tap 3 permanents and draw. I will here.
How are you not crying, Pontus?
I'm always crying, that's my secret.
Okay.
Cast this Chrome Mox because it's a great card to have in play right now.
It's great for Tangle Wire.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea. So my hand doesn't really have any cards I want to get rid of. We're in a kind of funny situation where if the Collector Roof disappears, I maybe just win, honestly. Like if I can land the Dockside into a Calling Ritual here, that's really strong. The Diabolic Intent makes it even stronger. The only card I can get rid of here is Deflecting Spots, has no repercussions of getting rid of because I don't really have a way to my commander. And the Technomancer is far away and it's not guaranteed to be necessary. I think the best choice is to get rid of Technomancer, but I might be punished for that. But that's the card I'm gonna choose because I might just be in the spot where I cast my commander and have Deflecting Spot up, and that's a better spot than not having Deflecting Spot, I think. So it's not great So we don't have any good choices. If I draw a Skirk Prospector, I will be kind of sad, but that's where we are at. So I'm exiled this Ruthless Technomancer onto it. And then I'm passing turn.
I'm going to untap, and I'm going to tap down 3 permanents. We are going to play this Scalding Tarn. See, I'm helping my Deathrite Shaman friends out here, and I'm going to crack this. A Underground Sea. We're going to give Pontus the Spirit.
Woo!
Green and blue to put a Derevi on the stack.
Less woo!
Definitely less woo!
Oh no, hold on, wait. Woo! I like that woo.
I am passing. I don't have blockers. Nor do I have a cool interaction either. Or wait, actually, I maybe have something. I'm gonna tap these 2 and cast that Solarian Wind, and maybe draw into a force, I guess. I have 2 cards in my hand, so the chance is that big.
Okay. I'm here for it. Let's randomize.
So we're discarding these 2 cards, and we're drawing. No, did not hit it. No can do. But I am casting the Mox Diamond, just because I can. However, I don't have a land, so it goes to grave.
I'm going to trigger Ledger Shredder.
Now, when you trigger Ledger Shredder, you have already drawn a card, so I draw a card with my Fairy Mastermind. You see what I did there? I made you draw a card, but I draw more cards than you, so we get another prayer here. No can do.
Drawing off that. I'm going to ditch
This is what I have in my hand.
Dockside Extortionist.
Well, hey boys, we get to go back to this pact discussion, but let's just hope nothing happens that allows me to pay for it. So I will pact the Derevi.
I was really hoping this didn't happen. We're gonna tap this, and we're gonna put a Demonic Consultation on the stack. I'm going to name Fierce Guardianship. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go. It's not in the top 6. Let's go. Fierce Guardianship. I get to showcase my deck, so there's an Ancient Tomb. No. Yeah, so Intuition would have been nice. This was kind of my plan initially, to go for the console for protection anyway. I was thinking about doing it to get Snap or Swords to Plowshares, which is also in the deck somewhere. Maybe we'll come across it. The Derevi was in my hand a lot earlier, which is why I protected the Ragavan. Wow, I love going through my entire deck and trying to talk about it at the same time. Oh, there's my Breach. No! My backup line.
I don't think you need a backup line. A little bit sad. I actually had Spell Pierce in my hand for this situation, but I didn't know that there was going to be a counter war. I forgot about the pact.
I'm going to Fierce Guardianship the Pact.
Tap a swap to do my own Demonic Consultation, and I am going to name Mana Drain.
Misstep the console.
Bollocks.
So my Mental Misstep is going to counter the Demonic Consultation. My Fierce Guardianship is going to counter the Pact of Negation. Okay, so Derevi's gonna ETB trigger, and I am going to untap my Rainbow Land here. I am gonna move to combat. I'm gonna send everything except for the flyer at Mons. The flyer, the Ledger Shredder is gonna go at Pontus, and I am going to make 2 more warriors. Once all my creatures hit and deal combat damage, they're all going to trigger Derevi, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is going to untap 6 lands, or 6 permanents, which I have a Rainbow Land, which I can then just keep giving it to literally anybody else, except for Mons, until I kill him, then kill Pontus, and then I'll have enough warriors to overtake anybody, because I can just keep switching who gets the spirits every time. GG! I just threw my mic. I got way too excited there.
So I kind of misplayed there. I forgot about that Rhetoric had a Pact of Negation, so I should have kept my Spell Pierce in my hand instead of Tolarian Winds for interaction. That would actually have saved us.
Well, Tangle Wire froze out some other opponents, but Najeela, Derevi, they don't care about the cold.
Yeah, that Collector Roof shut us down. We had the Dockside, which was called out for some reason. I don't know why they would expect a Dockside deck to have a Dockside in hand. And we never got to the Coloring Ritual. So, yeah, just died turn 2, basically.
So, right off the bat, I thought I kept the hand. It was a little bit risky, but I figured we were going to slower. And after the first 2 draws, I knew I had a really early win in hand. And then the Tangle Wire and stuff really helped me get there a lot faster, even though it locked me out.